That's the music. That's what it sounds like. Why isn't it? Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. Is the stream picking up? Okay. It's got audio. I like it. Is the stream picking up? Alright, let's just start with making a new game. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the stream just to see how laggy this gets. Welcome, adventurer, to Diplomacy 4 Lit Dumb for Mountain Blade Warband. Before beginning the game, you must create your character. Remember that in the traditional medieval society depicted in the game, war and politics are usually dominated by male members of the nobility. That does not, however, mean that you should not choose to play a female character, or one who is not of noble birth. Male nobles may have a somewhat easier start, but women and commoners can attain all of the same goals, and in fact, may have a much more interesting, if more challenging, early game. Continue. Select the recruitment type from villages. If you select farmer recruits, you'll be able to recruit only farmers who can be upgraded to mercenaries instead of faction soldiers, unless you are a member, ruler, vassal, or mercenary of the faction that owns the village. If you select faction recruits, you will always be able to recruit villagers who can be upgraded to faction soldiers as in native. Select carefully, you cannot change after you started the game. Farmer recruits sounds kind of fun. I've never tried it. I guess I have tried it, but I've never done it for like a whole playthrough. So, unless you are a member, ruler, vassal, or mercenary of the faction that owns the village. So if I become a mercenary, then I will get faction units. That is kind of an interesting choice. I feel like no, I'll just do as a native, because I can always buy mercenaries. Select your character's gender. I am go back. Will be a male. You were born years ago in a land far away. Your father was a thief. As the son of a thief, you had very little formal education. Instead, you were out on the street, begging until you learned how to cut purses, cutting purses until you learned how to pick locks, all the way through your childhood. Still, these long years made you streetwise and sharp to the secrets of cities and shadowy backways. You started to learn about the world almost as soon as you could walk and talk. You spent your early life as... I didn't get this far. Well, so, options: impoverished noble, traveling merchant, veteran warrior, hunter, steppe nomad, or a thief. And I wanted my dad to be a thief, but now I don't know what I want to do. Because I have an idea for a bit of a role play. Page in nobleman's court, craftsman's apprentice, shop assistant, street urchin, or stepchild. Step with a P and an E at the end, not just someone's stepchild. Between street urchin and stepchild. What is stepchild? As a boy growing out of childhood, you rode the great steppes on a horse of your own, learning ways of the grass and the desert. Although you sometimes went hungry, you became a skillful hunter and pathfinder in this trackless country. Your body, too, started to harden with muscle as you grew into the life of a nomad man. Let's see, street urchin. As a boy growing out of childhood, you took to the streets, doing whatever you must to survive, begging, thieving, and working for gangs to earn your bread. You lived from day to day in this violent world, always one step ahead of the law and those who wished you ill. Yeah, I'll be a street urchin. Then, as a young adult, life changed as it always does. You became a squire, a troubadour, a university student, goods peddler, a smith, a game poacher. Because it's not that this character is a bad character, they just didn't have the best upbringing in their life. There's game poacher. Though the distinction felt sudden to you, somewhere along the way you had become a man, and the whole world seemed to change around you. Dissatisfied with common men's desperate scrabble for coin, you took to your local lord's own forests and decided to help yourself to its bounty. Laws be damned. You hunted stags, boars, and geese, and sold the precious meats under the table. You cut down trees right under the watchmen's noses and turned them into firewood that warmed many freezing homes during winter. All for a few silvers, of course. What's a troubadour? Though the distinction felt sudden to you somewhere along the way, you became a man and the whole world seemed to change around you. You set out on your own with nothing except the instrument slung over your back and your own voice. It was a poor existence, with many a hungry night when people failed to appreciate your play, but you managed to survive on your music alone. As the years went by, you became adept at playing the drunken crowds in your taverns, and even better at talking anyone out of anything you wanted. Yeah, because I'm gonna be a bard. I'm trying to be like a Nord bard, very generic archer, Nord bard. But soon everything changed around you, and you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you make this decision was, well, just to recap, my dad was a thief, and these are the questions that they usually ask you at job interviews. So my dad was a thief. I was a street urchin growing up, and then I became a traveling bard, and then the distinction felt sudden to you somewhere along the way, and then everything changed when you decided to strike out on your own as an adventurer. What made you make the decision was just wanderlust. Only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. You're not even sure when your home became a prison, when the familiar became mundane, but your dreams of wandering have taken over your life. Whether you yearn for some faraway place, or merely for the open road and the freedom to travel, you can no longer bear to stay in the same place. You simply went and never looked back. Well, let's look back. So I could have chosen personal revenge, the loss of a loved one, being forced out of your home, lust for money and power. That one always sounds intriguing. What's the loss of a loved one? Only you know exactly what caused you to give up your old life and become an adventurer. I have socks in my pocket that I didn't put on. All you can say is that you couldn't bear to stay, not with the memories of those you loved so close and so painful. Perhaps your new life will let you forget or honor the name that you can no longer bear to speak. Being forced out of your home. Only you know exactly what causes you. However, you know you cannot go back. There's nothing to go back to. Whatever home you may have had is gone now, and you must face the fact that you're out in the wide world, alone, to sink or swim. Okay, become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. What will the game's saving policy be? Now, this is important. Allow me to quit without saving. I don't care about realism. Allow me to quit without saving. Sure, and enter your name and distribute your attributes. Skill and weapon points. You can click on various elements on the screen to learn how each one will affect your character. Okay. Well, I already know what all this does. I'm not going over all this. So I'm going to need strength for bows. And agility will help with my horse riding and archery. So I'm definitely going to want strength and agility. What is charisma for? Prisoner management, leadership, trade. I've already got 2 points in leadership, so that's nice. I typically try to get up to 10 leadership, but I won't be trying to get such a big army right off the bat. Should I be thinking of early game, or should I be thinking late game? Because I definitely want these skills to be high. I guess they don't have to be maxed. Well, damn. Let's 2 to get my strength up to 9. Yeah, I feel like I'm really gonna need strength early game. Because I'm really gonna suck. Iron Flesh. Bump 2 points into for now. I only got 4 skill points, so I've got 2 leadership, 1 persuasion, inventory management, 1 spotting, 1 pathfinding, 2 looting, 1 riding, 2 athletics, 2 weapon master, 1 power throw. Okay, so I'm going to want power throw and power draw. So I'm gonna bump 3 points into power draw because I know bows typically, like the better bows, require at least 2 to 3. And toaster, leave your sister alone. We'll do power throw. Wow, my archery skill is very low. Let's just bump whatever points I have into that right away. What's a name for our Nordic bard character? Go Ivar. So I thought of it last night. I almost never mess with this side anymore. I just kind of pick a face, put some hair on it, call it a day. Who looks like a strong Nord? Looks like a Nord face. Oops. Wow, why do you like not age? Your skin still looks flawless. It's too smooth for me. Smooth skin. Oh, this one. What's a bard beard? That's a bard beard. Look at some bard hair. Is this the one I hate? Who would ever style their hair like this? That's just a mistake. I feel like bards would typically have... Yeah, I'm gonna need some like long Nord hair. That's too scraggly. That might work. Oh, it's got a little top knot. Okay, okay. Let's back to the short hair. Is that really the only hair that has like... Okay, this is like the most Nord-like hair. I thought there were more braided ones. Maybe I'm just thinking of the, what's it called? Viking Conquest. Yeah, you know, we'll do this. No, you kind of look like an asshole then. I want you to look somewhat respectable. You know, it'll make you look angrier. Eyebrow height. There we go, now you look like a Nord. There we go. Well, yeah. Perfect. Just make them a little angry. You hear about Calradia, a land torn between rival kingdoms battling each other for supremacy, a haven for knights and mercenaries, cutthroats and adventurers, all willing to risk their lives in pursuit of fortune, power, or glory. In this land, which holds great dangers and even greater opportunities, you believe you may leave your past behind and start a new life. You feel that finally, you hold the key to your destiny in your hands, free to choose as you will, and that whatever course you take, great adventures will await you. Drawn by the stories you hear about Calradia and its kingdoms, you take a ship to Sargoth in the kingdom of the Nords. You took passage with a trading longship carrying, Gearfalcons from the furthest reaches of the north to be bartered for linen and wool. It sailed early in the season, but the master reckoned that the risks of drifting ice and later winter storms could be justified by arriving ahead of the sea raiders who by April would be sailing forth from their island lairs to ravage Calradia's coasts. It was some relief when your ship came in sight of the delta of the Veal and Bolak rivers, and a short while later rode past tidal flats and coastal marshes to the city of Sargoth, home of the Sea Raiders' distant kinsmen, the Nordic lands, who a few generations ago had carved themselves a kingdom in this rich but troubled land. These sentences are so long and have so many commas. Like, this is all one sentence. From here, it was some relief when your ship came in sight of the delta. This would have been a short while later. That is such a long sentence. How is anyone supposed to read that in one breath? You are exhausted by the time you find the inn in Sargoth and fall asleep quickly. However, you wake before dawn and are eager to explore your surroundings. You venture out onto the streets, which are still deserted. All of a sudden, you hear a sound that stands the hairs of your neck on end. The rasp of a blade sliding from its scabbard. Alright, I got a tabard. Throwing knives. Oh, shit. A sword? Oh, fuck. Alright, alright. Accuracy, not great. Oh, I got it. Get closer. That's right, bitch. Oh, shit. Oh, I also need to fuck with the settings, but I guess I will after this fight. Look how angry I am. Oh, it's first person. How do I zoom? Are you alright? Well, I guess you're alive at any rate. I'm not sure that we can say the same for the other fellow. That's one less thief to trouble our streets at night, although heaven knows he won't be the last. Anyway, maybe you can help me with something. Let's talk more inside. Out here, we don't know who's listening. Okay, Merchant of Sargoth. The merchant takes you to his house. Once inside, he stands by the door for a while, checking the street, and then, finally convinced you have not been followed, comes near you to speak.